Welcome to Law Scale Therapy. That's a very interesting question. I hadn't considered that it could also happen when tilting your head upward. Now, in my case, I just experienced it chin to chest and then turning left and right. I experience disorientation when I'm looking up. So when I used to do like back bends or like camel pose in yoga or looking upward at a building when like in the city kind of causes me to feel disoriented, a little bit dizzy, and a little bit of pressure. I would definitely talk to your vascular specialist about it. I think that's great that you have one. I did not have that option. I literally didn't even know that vascular specialists existed. And so when I met with my neurologist, I basically was just like, hey, here's a list of postures that trigger what feels like a POTS episode for me. And I would recommend that you do the same, like showing up to a specialist and being like, these are the exact movements that I do that cause this, and then seeing what that looks like and what veins are potentially being compressed. One of the other things that I would ask them about is if it also impacts your optic and your auditory nerves. I have noticed in myself that when I experience compression, my vision goes blurry and my hearing gets really weird. I almost get like tinnitus. So potentially just exploring with them, they might have a referral for you to an audiologist or to a neuro-ophthalmologist, but discussing with them the other symptoms that show up and the postures that cause the compression in you are really, really important. And remember that when you're seeing a specialist, one of the most important things that I learned that I just truly didn't take into consideration was the fact that because they are a specialist, they typically will only look within their scope. They will always refer out or might even disregard the other symptoms because it's just not in their field of study. So showing up with a well-rounded, essentially like a presentation of like, here's exactly how this episode happens. And I used to break it down by like, this is how my eyes react. This is how my ears react. This is what my heart does. And really like laying it out as if you are teaching it back to them can be incredibly important. There's also a girl on TikTok. If I find her name, I will shoot you a DM. But she does a beautiful job of explaining how when she goes to doctors with chronic illness, she brings a binder with her. She brings her like entire medical record with her and has every single thing labeled and laid out, so there's never a question of like, I need to get back to you. Because how often have we all been in doctors where it's like, oh, do you have your test results from whatever? Do you remember what day you got your MRI? Do you know what your antibody levels were on this day when they did this test? And it's very hard to keep all of that information on hand. So as much as you can to document it, I would do that. And if you feel comfortable, like just seeing what calms the compression down versus what triggers it can also be a really good thing to bring to the table.